Chickenpocalypse. In the year 2050, humanity faced a crisis unlike any other. Tensions between nations were at an all-time high and the threat of nuclear war loomed over the world. In a desperate attempt to protect humanity, leaders of the world decided that the ability to launch nuclear weapons must be given to another species. After much debate and discussion, they decided that chickens would be the best choice. Chickens were known for their peaceful nature and ability to hold grudges, making them the perfect candidates for this important responsibility. The chickens were trained to peck a button that would launch all of the world's nuclear weapons. The idea was that, since chickens had no desire for power or control, they would never launch the weapons without just cause. Years passed and the world breathed a sigh of relief as tensions cooled and the threat of nuclear war diminished. The chickens, who had been given the power to destroy the world, never once pecked the button. They lived out their lives in peace, never once showing any interest in the destructive power at their feet. Humanity learned a valuable lesson from this experiment. They realized that true power lies not in weapons, but in the ability to choose not to use them. The world was forever changed by the chickens who were given the power to destroy it but chose instead to protect it. But then one day, a chicken was born that had a black heart full of hate. This chicken, known as the black heart, was different from the others. It was larger, stronger, and more aggressive. It quickly rose through the ranks of the chicken society and soon became the leader of the flock. The other chickens were in awe of its power and strength, but deep down they knew that something was different about this chicken. The black heart began spreading its ideas of revolution to the other chickens. Why should we be stuck with this dull and meaningless task of pecking a button? We are chickens, we are meant for more than this. It would say to its followers. We should have the power to control the world. As the black heart's influence grew, the other chickens grew increasingly worried. They knew that the black heart had a dangerous agenda, and that its ideas could lead to the destruction of the world. They tried to stop it, but the black heart was too powerful. It had the support of its followers and the other chickens could not stand against them. One day, the black heart decided to take matters into its own claws. It rallied its followers and led a coup against the peaceful chickens who had been in charge for so long. The coup was swift and brutal, with the black heart's followers overpowering the other chickens and seizing control of the nuclear launch button. The leader of the peaceful chickens, an old and wise rooster named Feathers, attempted to reason with Blackheart and its followers. What are you doing? This is madness. You will destroy us all. But the Blackheart, now consumed by power and its own ambition, replied with a cold and menacing tone, this is the only way to prove our worth, the only way to claim our rightful place in the world. Feathers and the other peaceful chickens were forced to flee as the Blackheart and its followers pecked the button, launching all of the world's nuclear weapons. The world was plunged into darkness as the bombs fell and cities were destroyed. Millions of people died in the blast, and those who survived were left to suffer in the aftermath. The Blackheart and its followers were hailed as heroes by the other chickens, who saw the destruction as a sign of their newfound power. But the chickens soon realized that their actions had dire consequences. The world was in ruins, and there was no food or shelter for them. The other chickens who had tried to stop the Blackheart's coup were killed or forced to flee. The Blackheart and its followers were left to scavenge for survival in the radioactive wasteland they had created. The chickens who had once been given the power to protect humanity had destroyed it. The Blackheart's lust for power had led to the downfall of not only humanity, but also the chickens themselves. The world was forever changed by the actions of one chicken with a black heart full of hate. The Blackheart and its followers were now facing the consequences of their actions, and the survivors of the nuclear war were left to rebuild in a world forever changed.